There is a moment that happens to almost every first-time visitor to Japan. They walk into a convenience store, a small, bright, unremarkable-looking shop, and they stop. Not because something is wrong. Because something feels surprisingly right. The shelves are organized. The food is fresh. The staff moves with quiet efficiency. And somewhere near the back, there is a hot meal waiting for you at 11 o'clock at night. That moment of confusion is worth examining. Because what you are feeling is not amazement at Japan. It is the memory of something your own daily life quietly stopped offering. This video is about what the design of Japanese convenience stores accidentally reveals about the gaps in modern life everywhere else. Point 1. The store that never makes you wait. Walk into a Japanese konbini at any hour and the transaction is fast, clean, and dignified. The cashier does not look exhausted. The line does not stretch to the door. The machine accepts your payment without 3 failed attempts. This is not magic. It is the result of treating a small daily transaction as something worth designing carefully. In many cities around the world, buying a bottle of water at midnight has become a low-grade stressful experience. Self-checkout machines that do not work. Stores that are technically open but feel abandoned. The konbini solve this not by adding luxury but by removing friction. And that absence of friction is what feels so unusual to visitors who have quietly accepted friction as normal. Point 2. Hot food that is actually food. At almost any hour, a Japanese convenience store carries warm meals. Rice balls with real fillings. Steamed buns. Oden simmering in broth. Sandwiches that are made with care, including the egg salads and layered combinations that have drawn global attention from food writers and travelers. These are not novelty items. They are daily staples for millions of working people who do not have time to cook but still expect something that tastes like a real meal. The global conversation around konbini food has grown steadily, with travel creators and food journalists repeatedly noting that the quality feels genuinely surprising. What that surprise reveals is a quiet assumption most people carry, that fast and cheap means bad. Japanese convenience stores have been systematically dismantling that assumption for decades. Point 3. Infrastructure for people who are actually tired. Consider what a konbini quietly handles. You can pay utility bills. Print a document. Buy medicine. Withdraw cash. Ship a package. Charge your transit card. Reserve concert tickets. And do all of this at 2 in the morning if necessary. This is not a list of impressive features. It is a description of what a neighborhood used to provide, spread across a post office, a pharmacy, a bank, a print shop, now compressed into one small room that is always open. Many cities around the world have watched those individual services disappear from neighborhoods over the past 20 years. The konbini did not replace them with an app. It replaced them with a physical place where a tired person can walk in and solve a problem without a password or a loading screen. Point 4. The trust built into the design. There is something else visitors notice but rarely name. The store feels safe to linger in. Nobody is watching you with suspicion. The lighting is warm enough to be comfortable but clear enough to feel honest. You can sit with a coffee and nobody will ask you to leave. This is a small thing. But it points to a larger design choice. The store was built with the assumption that the person walking in is a normal person having a normal day, not a potential problem to be managed. That assumption, embedded in the physical design of a room, changes how the space feels. And it is an assumption that has quietly eroded from a lot of public commercial spaces in cities that have prioritized security theater over actual comfort. Here is what all 4 of these points share. None of them are expensive. None of them require cutting-edge technology. They require a consistent decision to treat daily life as something worth designing carefully. The konbini did not become globally fascinating because Japan is mysterious. It became globally fascinating because it kept solving small daily problems that other systems quietly gave up on. The question worth sitting with is this: what small daily friction have you accepted as just the way things are? Because somewhere in that friction is the thing that modern infrastructure quietly stopped caring about. If this made you think of something specific in your own city, a service that disappeared, a store that stopped feeling like a place, drop it in the comments. The answers tend to be more revealing than you might expect. Next, consider this: Japan's train station design follows a nearly identical philosophy, and it contains one detail that most visitors completely misread the first time they see it.